Hello, this is Pat Cahill from Pat Cahill Metalworks, and today we're going to make a pair of earrings. And we're going to start out with some 18 gauge sterling silver wire that is 7 inches in length. And since I measured the first one, I just do the same to the second. Okay. And our first step is going to be to ball up the ends. So again, if you saw the last episode, I wanted a nice, small, very tight flame. And we'll bring that over there so you can see that. And slowly go straight down, vertical on it. There you go. And if you lose a little bit like I just did, that's okay. Maybe I should be doing it over something that can handle the heat. But I like the little burn marks in my desk. That's perfect. So after that, I'm going to take this little guy away. We're using for something. After that, I'm going to anneal the whole piece so that it's easier to work with. You don't necessarily need to do this step, but I like to. Doesn't take much. I think it's already annealed, but I'm just going to re-flame it here. Okay, that's done. So I'm going to quench it, and before I pickle it, I'm actually going to wind it around something. So I'll show you that in a second. So it's been quenched. I can easily touch it. And I just use something to wind around, and I'm going to use this old bat. And I have a little mark here so that I'm going around the same diameter with both of the wires. Of course, it doesn't matter that much, but okay. This does two things for me. It just sort of begins to define the shape I want, and it also makes it easier to put in the pickle because this fits right in. And if I don't do this, I have half coming out and half fitting in, so that's not perfect. So this goes into I just wanted to make it a little rounder. And now I put it in the pickle. Let that take off the oxidation. And we're good on to the next step. So I'll be right back when that's ready. Okay, so after they're all dried up, I'm now going to start by forming a little coil here. So I take out my round nose pliers and I just go around. I'm getting a nice coil. So I want to go around about 2.5 times. There's nothing set in stone here, but that's about right. So there's my coil, and the next thing I want to do is to bend the wire so that it's perpendicular to the coil. So you can do it like this, or I prefer to do it with some flat pliers rather than the round nose, and then just turn it over. Okay, so that's the start of our earring. This is where the earring will go in, and we want to get that hold it so there's about the distance you want. You can have a little play. In other words, you can go in farther than you're going to cut that off. And then once you have that, you can either mark it if you're uncertain, or you can just go for it. But I'll mark it just to show you. So I mark just the bottom and the top with a Sharpie. Okay, once that's done, I take another round nose pliers. These ones are a bit fatter. Hold them all the way to the bottom and pull that down. And I do that on the other side where the other mark is. Okay, and so that's it. Now we can fiddle a little bit because it's not at all hardened. So if we see anything that we don't like, but I think that's about right. So at this point, I want to, if I needed to bring this or cut it off a little bit, which I don't think so. I think it's perfect the way it is. I'm going to now start to harden this by panishing it a bit with my panishing hammer. And this adds interest to the piece. And also, as I said, hardens the silver. So it won't be all flapping around. And very easy to bend. Now I want to do this pretty much everywhere except for where it's going to go into the ear. We'll keep that nice and round. Again, I'm going to use a cup burr. Well, not again, but I use a cup burr for this end so that it is nice and smooth and doesn't sort of like poke you when you're trying to put it in your ear. So go around on a 45-degree sort of angle so you get a nice rounded end. As I said before, you can do this. You can do this with a file if you want to. It's not as easy, and it doesn't give as nice a result. Well, it could. Depends on how good you're at it, how good you are at it, how much practice you've had. And there we go. So that's one. I'll make the other one in the exact same way. Okay, so let's do that again for the second earring. Again, wind around using our round nose pliers. I'm going to go around, as I said before, about 2.5 times, just like that. And take our flat ones. Oops. And bring a 90-degree. Bend in the wire. Take the wire, put it through about where you want it. You can start to form it a little bit so you know where you want to put your marks. You can put your 2 marks either end, and then take the big round nose pliers. They come a lot bigger than this, but I'm calling these the big ones. And form your kink. I don't know what they call it, a kink. Form it so it's like a leaf. And this should be very similar to here. So So it looks a little smaller, but that's before we hammered it, or we have hammered it. So now we'll just hammer it. It's actually good to hammer both sides too. Okay, so there's our second. And of course we need to round off the part that goes in the ear. The cutter. Okay, that feels nice. Now I will actually put these things into a tumbler and let them tumble for a while, but that is essentially it. You can play with them a little bit to make sure that they're as identical as possible. And you have some nice sort of interesting hoop earrings. Okay, so they're out of the tumbler and they're all done. Two pretty simple earrings, but quite nice. I like them. Now you can make these bigger, you can make these rounder, you can actually have the edges where they're you know, like leaf edges serrated. There's just so many things that one can do with this. But I just thought I'd give you an example of making simple wire earrings that you can embellish any way you want. So thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again sometime soon. Bye.